Okay, so today's episode, we got the rack and pinion kit arrived from McDonalds Brothers Racing. So this kit is to suit HQ to WB, and it is a bolt-in kit, so no modifications or welding or anything to the chassis. It's just a full bolt-in kit. So the kit comes with obviously the rack, it comes with uni joints. I am waiting on a third uni joint to come. So yeah, you need 3 uni joints, so I'm waiting on the third. Comes with double D shaft, 2 bits, and also the ham joint. So yeah, we start fitting this in. So with the old steering linkage, none of this is really needed. The only things that I'll have to remove off this old steering linkage is the steering arms. So I just need to remove these steering arms off both sides and get them fitted to the spindles. So I'll start doing that. I'll probably clean them up and get them KBS before I fit them. And also you can start fitting this sway bar. So I'll start cleaning all this sway bar up, get that KBS as well. So with the sway bar, I've also just picked up some new rubber. So you've got some northane bushes and this bushing kit for the sway bar link. So can fit all that up as well. Okay, so with this rack, it mounts to the bottom control arms, the front bolt where it pivots. So it just picks up them 2 bolts either side. So I'll show you on the car. So what I'm gonna have to do is remove this bolt here, and then there's a longer bolt that comes in the kit. So I'll fit that longer bolt, and then that screws into the boss of the plate where the rack mounts to. So I've just removed the old bolts from the lower control arm front, and I've just put in the new bolts that come with the kit. So they're a longer bolt, and then they'll thread into the boss. So you don't put them in all the way, you just put them in so there's about 1 thread coming out, so then you can screw them into the boss. Okay, so I've just got this rack sitting in here and just held in by 1 mounting bolt, and I have encountered a couple of problems. So the first problem is that this shaft where this uni slides over, now that is rubbing on this engine mount. So this is just an original engine mount, and it is rubbing right on this corner here. So the second problem is that this side needs to come up another probably 5 to 10 mil, and it's hitting on the bottom of this oil pump, so I can't actually physically lift it up to get that second mounting bolt in. So I have reached out to McDonalds Brothers Racing, and yeah, they're pretty simple fixes. What they're going to do is send me another backing plate which mounts this mount onto the rack, and then they're going to weld that mount over 20 mil, so then that'll be able to lift up and then clear the bottom of the oil pump. So that's no worries. So and then the second fix for this side for this engine mount is, because they're the original engine mounts, I think I really do need to put some tough mounts in there. This thing is running 450 horsepower, so the original mounts are probably gonna fail pretty quickly. So what I have done is I've just got these engine mounts from Castlemaine Rod Shop, and they're a lot more compactor than the original style mounts. So I'm gonna fit these in and then see how much clearance I have there. So hopefully that is just gonna be enough to clear this corner section to get that uni on. When I reached out to McDonalds Brothers Racing, they are telling me that this is the first 308 that they've encountered with the rack and pinion conversion. Most of the ones that they've built have been for 350 Chevs or LSs. So if you are going to order one, then just, I guess, make sure that you tell them that it is for a 308, and they can weld this mount over a little bit to clear the oil pump. So just something to be mindful when ordering the rack and pinion conversion. So I've just removed the headers, and I've just jacked up the front of the engine to take the weight off the engine mounts. I've just left the transmission still bolted up. So yeah, once you take the weight off the engine mounts, they slide out pretty easily. Just unbolt them, and then yeah, they just slide out. So as you can see, So this is the original mount, and this is the HP mount from Castlemaine Rod Shop, and as you can see, it's a hell of a lot more compact. So I'll fit this back in. So I've just cleaned up the sway bar and the steering arms. So I just used the wire wheel on the bench grinder to clean all that up. So what I will do, just use the KBS. I'm just going to brush it on. So I'll just use the Aqua Clean and then the Rust Blast afterwards, and then I'll brush the rust seal over the top. Okay, so the new mount has arrived from McDonalds Brothers Racing. So as you can see, so where this bolts to this mounting plate, it's just moved in probably about 40 mil. So I'll unbolt this rack from the old mount and fit it to this new one, and then I can install it onto the car. Okay, so that is the rack all bolted up. So everything clears now, so you can just see this mount clears the oil pump. The oil pump is pretty close to the rack. There's probably about 5 mil gap in between, but it clears, so yeah, all good. And the uni joint now, so that clears the HP mount. So yeah, plenty of clearance in between there. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy with how that's turned out. So yeah, just bear in mind, once again, just if you are going to order one of these conversion kits, just make sure you let them know that it's to suit a 308, and they can weld this bracket in a bit closer. Okay, so with this steering shaft, I've just got this sitting in here loosely for now, but you've just got this uni that mounts to the rack, and then there's a double D shaft that goes into this uni and then onto this one, and then that uni then goes into this double D shaft, and it's supported by this support bearing here. So I'm not going to fit all this up as yet, because I'm going to wait till I get the cab put back on, and then I can put the steering column in, and then I can then fit all this after, because this shaft may have to, you know, cut it off and adjust the length of the shaft. This bearing here, I may have to bring this in a little bit further possibly, because it's pretty close to the extractors. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till I can line everything up once the steering column's in before I commit to anything there. Okay, so the steering arm's all painted and dried, so I can start fitting that to the spindle, and then I can fit the ball joint to the steering arm. Okay, so that is pretty much all the steering all done for now. So I can start fitting this sway bar. So I've just got the Nolothane kits here. So just got the sway bar link kit and just these bushes from Nolothane as well. So these are a 24mm bush to suit the 24mm sway bar. So okay, so that is all the steering and the sway bar all fitted up, and everything is tightened up. So when I installed the sway bar, I had it installed incorrectly, and I spent ages trying to figure out what was going on, because what was happening was this steering arm was rubbing up against the sway bar. And then yeah, I figured out that I basically installed it incorrectly, so I had to flip it the other way. So now there is plenty of clearance there with that steering arm. So yeah, just to be mindful, it was quite frustrating. So yeah, the norethane bushes are installed into the control arms. So there's one bush on the bottom, one above, and then obviously there's the two bushes here and here. Yeah, there's a couple of jobs still left to do. I still need to grease these ball joints here. Also got to grease these ones as well. And then also it will need a wheel alignment as well. So once the thing is drivable, I'll send it off to get the wheel alignment. I've just kind of adjusted it roughly so it's pretty straight each wheel, but yeah, obviously it'll need the toe in or out set correctly from a wheel alignment. Okay, so that's pretty much all done for the time being. So yeah, really stoked with how that's turned out. There was a few little hiccups, but they were easily rectified. So yeah, big thank you to McDonalds Brothers Racing for supplying the rack and pinion kit and then helping to resolve that clearance issue. Okay, so if you got something out of that video, hit that like and subscribe button below. Also, feel free to share the channel on Facebook or amongst your friends or whatever platform that you use. That's going to help me grow the channel. And I really appreciate the support so far of how quickly the channel has grown. So I'm coming up to 2,000 subscribers. It wasn't that long ago when I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm already up to 2,000 subscribers within a couple of months. So yeah, once again, a big thank you to you guys for supporting the channel. So I'll also leave a card up in this corner here for the playlist of the HX1 tonner build. So if you are new to the channel, check out the playlist. It's the very first episode of this build all the way to the latest. It's all in order, so have a binge on that. So yeah, we'll leave with that and we'll see you next time on Shenke Garage. Cheers.